Hello, everyone.
Okay, everybody. Welcome to the open space of January 2025. So today we are going to talk about an annual conference, RoboCon. My name is Miikka Solmela. I'm the Executive Director of the Robot Framework Foundation. And it's my pleasure to invite all of you here today, and also for the future YouTubers. Great to have you here on our channel. So before jumping more in, I want you to let know where you can find all the necessary information on RoboCon, and of course, buy tickets for this awesome conference. That would be robocon.io. You will find the full program there with all the side activities, all the amazing speakers and such. Great. So today we kind of jump in a little bit to discuss with one of the speakers, David Fogel, who is also one of the board members of the Robot Framework Foundation. And he will be sharing a little bit of his thoughts of the robot framework and AI, and a little bit sneak peek of his upcoming talk in the RoboCon online conference. So welcome, David, as well.
Thank you very much, Mika. Welcome, everyone.
Great. So let's in a minute or so give the floor to David. Let's keep the session discussional. So I'm sure David as well is fine if there are any questions, and if we want to have it more as a discussion on a round table. So let's keep it kind of a nice and low key for everybody to participate. After David has given you more insight on the robot framework and AI front, I'll be also giving a little bit more information on the conference in general. So that's more or less the agenda for today. We can also, of course, towards the end of the open space, discuss any other topics related to robot framework if some of you wants to talk about whatever you want to bring up. So that's the spirit of the open space. But anyway, David, are you ready to discuss AI and robot framework?
Yeah, I'm always happy to discuss AI for
Awesome.
3 years.
I was counting on that. So great. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Perfect. And I really encourage everyone who is here to join me. So if you think you want to discuss some of those AI topics, definitely jump in because, yeah, like Mika said, and like you probably heard last year on my robot framework talk about working with robot framework, integrating AI into testing, there is a lot. And in past year, a lot has changed. A lot has changed even in last week. Like, for example, there is the new AI model from DeepSeek that everybody is talking about now. And it cut off a huge portion of money from the US companies. So there's a lot of things happening like every week. And sometimes it happens. I was giving a talk on a podcast. Then the podcast went for so we recorded it. Then we had 2 months of pre-processing, and there were some other talks. And then everything changed during that time. Like there were new models, new everything, and the podcast was already outdated. So that's the situation with the AI. It's always changing. There's always some new tools, new things to try.
That's actually a very good point. That is always changing, and it's understandable. But like before actually jumping in, just as a question, like how do you approach that when something is changing so rapidly? Like how do you keep up with it?
Very harshly. It's now I'm really tracking Aris's channel, LinkedIn posts, the news. So anytime I've set up some automation so I get these things.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I don't know if you already tried, if you are on the ChatGPT beta list, but you can now use the tasks in ChatGPT. So basically, what I do, I'm for example driving, or I'm having some call, or I want to be reminded about something. I just write to ChatGPT, or I just tell it, hey, remind me that I need to pay this invoice tomorrow, and
Awesome.
it just reminds me. I don't need to go into Google to-do list or any other tasks, so I can just say it to the ChatGPT, and I feel like that's mostly what's happening in past year.
Mm.
Like 2 years ago, we got these generative models that were for basically for chatting or like working with information. Now we are getting the AI into integrated into all of those different applications, and ChatGPT grows and grows, and more things can be done within GPT, like for example the web search, right? Like why would I go now into Google search if it's full of ads when I can go to ChatGPT, do the web search without any ads there? And it will
Yeah.
I did I
Is it any without any ads? Is actually my question. Like, I
the
feel like sometimes it is taking a little bit of stance to some products. Like, for example, just linking to some pages. Like, yeah, you can find good stuff here. Like,
yeah, go this to this open AI or Microsoft page, right?
uh,
Oh well, at least I feel like it when I'm searching for something and when I'm showing it to users, it's easier to write with ChatGPT because you don't need to work with the code words or
yeah,
like how you
I,
search on Google.
I do agree, and I actually do the exact same thing. So
Yeah.
I think we are not the only ones. Uh, I think Google is very kind of Google searches are going down.
Oh yeah. I think so. So like people will still use it for majority of time because not many users use paid ChatGPT because
Mhm.
even the free ChatGPT is getting better and better. Right now, I believe it's working on the 4.0 model for some time. Then you switch to the 4.0 mini, which is still pretty good in comparison to last year 3.5. So even as a free user, you can use a lot of tools, but you don't have like this the web search and also uh, the tasks that are currently in beta. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things happening, and personally I'm also a geek, so I'm also trying different technologies. I will probably bring them to the RoboCon itself so people can try. So I have now two AI glasses, for example. One's from
Cool.
Meta, I had them for a year, and last month I got a delivery. This is a company from China, and they have glasses and you have a display on them, so it's basically Google glasses with monochromatic display.
Can you put them on top of one another?
Nope. I could try, but it wouldn't fit. But yeah, it's really interesting where this is going. That the AI is like getting involved in all those like wearable
Mhm.
technologies, and I think that's also a way. Like that's completely
So,
outside the testing,
so we
but
are actually in real life entering the IoT space. So not just like with the AR classes and stuff that they called like that didn't really like hit off last decade or something, but kind of like now we are really actually getting in that like nice fusion of functionable things in real life.
yeah, that's right. And I still don't have any AI at my home, so I don't have this Google Pod or Amazon or the thingies. I still haven't selected the one that will be really good.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm looking for as well, so that I can just hey turn on these lights and or set up these tasks, and it will
Hmm.
there will be actually an AI that will completely understand the context what I want it to do, and it will execute on it.
Yeah. You mentioned it briefly, but you will be present in RoboCon. So maybe can you mention a little bit about what shall be on your presentation and give us a little bit sneak review on that?
Oh yes. So last year at RoboCon, when I was having a talk, I was talking about the AI usage in testing in general and some POCs that we have done where we try to connect robot framework and the AI tools together. So we worked on it during 2024. And I want to present an interesting library that you can try where you can work with AI directly within robot framework tests. So for example, to work with data, to
Hmm.
generate data, or to get more information about your tests so AI can do the analysis. And it's not just my talk, but there's many interesting talks. For example, there is the AI self-healing that is, I believe, from Money. So that's really
Yeah,
interesting
Many
topic.
Cashier also from the foundation board as well. So we're
Yeah.
very good acquaintance for me and David.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We have a nice group now, and yeah, it's something that we might invite you in. So we are thinking about creating an interesting group to discuss robot framework and AI together. So
Yeah,
we can bring in the ideas and think about the new features and how robot framework can interact with AI.
that's correct. That's a I would say something to look forward to this year, to have an official work group from Robot Framework side to also really delve into whatever we can do with AI and Robot Framework together.
Yeah.
But so David, you've been at least from my perspective in a very front of this AI movement, and then also you are heavily working with robot framework. So how do you see that as of today? Like how are they working together, and what what should be improved, or what is already possible?
So the good thing about robot framework is that you can basically integrate it with anything. With the robot framework listeners, you can also work directly with the running tests. So you can also use AI to work with those. That's how the self healing comes to play as well.
Hmm.
So I see the many integration possibilities for some of the customers. We are already trying some of these things. The major problem is still, I would say, the security and the trust. So depends on the companies whether they have some of their own AI models built in into their company, to which you can integrate and have it all within your space. Or if you are more open-minded and you, for example, trust the open AI technologies and you use an agentic approach, because
Hmm.
with open AI agents, with the knowledge bases that there are there, you can build a lot of things. And we, for example, did some part of also for robot framework, which is like working with chatbots. So you can create your own personal helper for robot framework. You can feed it with all the nice libraries that we have for example, for browser, for Selenium, for Appium, and then you can discuss with the chatbot. And if the agent is set correctly, it will answer only on those things which it has in the knowledge base. What
Hmm.
happens sometimes is when you chat with ChatGPT and you ask about robot, it will find you an outdated data,
Yeah.
because that's the most question it has on the internet. So that's some old method, old functionality. This is if you tried, for example, the requests library or communicating with API, it always selects some old data. So it's really good to work with the existing documentation to include it within your chats for your context, and then it works really well.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I definitely want to have a discussion this year again with Daniel, because as he's developing the robot code, I definitely want to check, because there are now some new small AI models that can be run locally. So I would really want to see whether we can do finally something with it, because we discussed it last year. We didn't find it during the year, because and the models were quite big. But
I actually do believe Daniel has joined us in this call as well. Anything you want to say about that, Daniel?
Can you hear me? I have a new
Yes, yes.
computer and it's not always running as I expect. So, yes, let's talk about the RoboCon about the things. Some things, maybe I have some plans for after the RoboCon to build a more extendable robot code plugin so that you can integrate some things in that. Uh, 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 I'm not sure. There are some new APIs in the VS Code
Mhm.
API for extending these models and such things. Maybe we can.
Yeah, we can spend the open space there. It would be interesting to do
Yeah,
some
yeah,
POC.
yeah. Maybe
I
something.
actually love that you brought it up to open space. It's one of the nice features or nice places we have in RoboCon. So we'll be
Okay.
actually having an open space in both in person and online conference. But it's a day kind of for the community. So we call it today community day. In the past it was open space, but the point is that it's a place where people can come together, can code together, can have discussions around whatever clean code, robot framework and AI, or plugging. So whatever is your thing, and then you get together with the small group, and then you exchange ideas. Maybe do some iterations of initial code or whatever is kind of your thing, and it's a really cool way to connect with people, and I'm really looking forward to the open space again this year.
Yeah, the open space is always so good. Like so many ideas that come out of there. It's great.
Definitely.
And also for those lucky ones who joined my AI workshop, we'll be trying some integrations there. But I know it got filled pretty quickly. So
I think there might be still like one spot left, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are here and you want to take AI's David's AI workshop, be quick.
No, but you can. So there's no spot left because we already have a waiting list, and every time someone decides to not to come to a workshop, one of the waiting list gets a voucher. But if you are interested in any workshop, just sign up to the waiting list, and once a spot gets free, you directly get an email. But then you have to be quick because it's only valid for 48 hours. You have to book, otherwise the next person on the waiting list gets the chance.
That's correct. Thanks, Rena. But anyway, so there will definitely be workshops. I think there are a few spots left. You can again find all the workshops on robocon.io. So we'll start with the community day on Tuesday here in Helsinki, then we continue with the workshop day. So that's like a full day of hands-on learning led by an instructor or a couple of instructors in a small group. So it's really nice kind of a way to practically enhance your skills. I think, for example, Rene, who just spoke, Rene Rona, our chairman of the board with the foundation, has also a workshop with Tatu Aalto about browser library advanced workshop, which, if I'm not mistaken, still has a spot left. So
yes, a single one.
So one lucky person may still join those kind of brilliant gentlemen at that workshop. But yeah, David, still regarding kind of your contribution to RoboCon, is there something you want to say about your presentation with AI or the other interesting presentation you saw on the agenda?
Well, I don't want to spoil that much. Like I can go into many details, but I want to keep it a little bit for the RoboCon, or at least after the RoboCon, so we can discuss more.
Fair enough. I give a little hardy here for that, but I would also like invite other speakers. I've noticed there's like, for example, our lead developer Pekka Clark here, and Kelby is also giving a talk. Is that possibly Tatu Aalto as well there, and Manana is there, Daniel is there, Nils is there. So I would also invite all of you to the discussion about what you are looking forward in RoboCon, and kind of what are you most expecting to see here in Helsinki or online conference? Feel free to speak up and open a mic if that's your thing. Not a must. I can also still tell a little bit more about the conference. So basically, as mentioned, we have the community day, we have workshops, then we have full 2 days of good content. So there's really good talks. Check out the full agenda from RoboCon.io. But I would say it's a versatile content in many ways. And then you will definitely be surprised how much different use cases of a robot framework you can find there, and new innovation. Besides the talks, there are long breaks, especially in RoboCon Helsinki. And that's really a special time to connect with the audience, with your fellow robot framework enthusiasts. So I think there's like a really good atmosphere here in Helsinki. Of course, in online as well, it's just a little bit different. But those long breaks enable us to connect and innovate. So it's a really precious thing. And obviously, we have great after parties. So Friday there's an after party at one of our sponsors, Vala, and then there's also Finnish flavored dinner on Thursday, so a community dinner. So everybody's welcome there. You need a separate ticket though for the food. For those who do not want this delicious, or actually it's a flavor of Germany and Finnish. So there will be some kind of sauerkraut and bratwurst and vegan sausages as well and stuff. But there's also this Finnish leipäjuusto dessert, and there's like a skagen toast skagen thing, which is this Finnish Swedish like a small bread where you have this delicious shrimp and stuff, and obviously vegan versions as well. So it will be a little bit mix of both, but there definitely will be beer and drinks as well. So it will be a really nice, relaxed dinner on Thursday, and I hope to see many of you there. On Friday, obviously, the after parties is open to all participants as well, and Saturday for those who are still in town, there's like a optional visit to Fortress of Finland. So that's just off the coast, 10-minute boat ride. Check it out from our website at robocon.io again for more details. But if you haven't been in Finland before, I can really recommend that as well. That's roughly how the outline is for the in-person conference. For online conference, it's fully online, first week of March. So then we kick off with some tutorials. So those are, I would say, quite hands-on, but maybe not as much as the workshops, but still you definitely will learn there. Then we have a couple of days of excellent talks hosted by Joe Colantanio. So if you haven't watched any of our talks, go to YouTube and check out channel Robot Framework. So you will find nice recording from last year's conference there as well, so to get an idea a little bit of the talk quality, but also like how smooth and nice guy Joe is, and he really knows his tech stuff. So there will definitely be a good Q&A, which of course all participants can and will attend. And everything happens on Catertown as well, so it's this platform where you can interact with one another and walk around with your little avatar and explore the world. So there will be some after conference activities after the first and most likely in the second day as well, to play around with some games and have some virtual beer in the so-called beer bar there. And Friday we'll still have in the online conference a community day, just like in Helsinki, but just fully online. And it's also a very nice place to connect with people and innovate and discuss. But that's roughly the outline for the in-person and online conference this year. I would, yeah.
I have
go
a
ahead.
question, important one. Do we plan any saunas?
Oh yes. So during the open space here in Helsinki, there will be a sauna available at Efficode office. Efficode is also one of our sponsors, as they are also giving us space during the workshops, and the whole open space is there on Tuesday, 11th of February. So you do need a separate ticket there. So it's free event, but only for ticket holders. I think there are a couple of spots left, so please enroll if you haven't yet. And then there will be some sauna and drinks after this so-called official day.
Yeah, last year in November, the Robot Framework board visited Helsinki, and we also went to sauna. And then it's getting emptier, and everyone left. And then we asked David, so hey, okay, where are you, by the way? And he said, huh? Where are you? I'm still in the sauna. So we completely forgot him in the sauna, so he was basically alone there.
Yes, that happened.
Yeah, but you know, I don't know for David, but at least for Finns, being alone in the sauna, that's the dream.
Yeah. So maybe a question to you, David. What is your favorite thing at maybe your one thing which you like most on RoboCon? And the next I will ask in the round, so please open your microphones if you're happy to answer this question.
So for me, it's meeting the community. I would say that was the one of the things that sold completely for me the robot framework. Like I used it all already before, but then I came to RoboCon and I met everyone. I'm always so happy to go there again, to meet the familiar faces and also to meet new ones, because it's so good to meet your people. And the Robot Framework are our people. We have the same interest and we want to make it grow. So that's the one thing for me, the community.
Nice. Niels, are you maybe the next one in the row?
Yeah, I'm also happy to talk about it. I don't know why the camera is not working anyway. But I'm also like the biggest highlight is also like meet everyone else in person again, right? But for the reasons, because it's so much easier to discuss and just connect on topics and find new solutions, bounce ideas. And it's absolutely great. Like every time I've been to RoboCon, like it's always like bringing me miles forward with ideas and solutions and so on. And this year I also booked one of the workshops done by Marcos and Asko about orchestrating visual business process models and I think that will be super interesting as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And then on the conference, I'm mostly nervous about
one spot left, by the way.
doing my own talk. Yeah, wow, okay. So it's also
so we just reopened it because we switched a little bit around the rooms. So there is again one spot left for the BPMN workshop. And Asko and Marcus really do know what they are talking about. So this will be an awesome workshop.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Yeah, yeah. And on the conference, I'm giving my own talk about infrastructure as code, right? So using infrastructure as code inside your robot framework test, and I think it's a brilliant brilliant option to build up your test environments and tear them down again afterwards. So I think it will be pretty interesting.
Definitely. How often have you been in Helsinki?
So my first conference was 2019. I was in Helsinki, and then like in 2021 was only online conference, and then again in I think then again last year, and then this year again. So
yeah, I remember when we sit at the speakers dinner, at the pre-conference dinner at Biorex, the restaurant. We had a chat at 2019 conference.
Yeah. That was my first one. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else want to share experiences of RoboCon?
Well,
Tatu. Yes.
yeah.
Hello.
Morning.
So,
How's
Tatu
life?
Alto, the long-time maintainer of Selenium library, and nowadays the driver's seat at the browser library, I would say.
Yeah, well, you're still there. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah.
my answer is boring. I want to see the old friends and meet new ones in the conference. In a way, I want to meet people from the community, see the ideas. And RoboCon is an excellent place. Almost every year, the talk of the next year RoboCon has sparkled the idea for the next RoboCon talk. So last year, 2024, I got the idea to do a project which I'm talking about in this year RoboCon. So RoboCon always gives me excellent ideas what to do for next.
Definitely. And for all of the you who are using maybe Selenium library or browser library or do web automation with Robot Framework, don't hesitate to talk to Tatu. So even though he's kind of a big name in the community, he's a really nice guy, and don't be afraid to approach him. If you have any issues or if you have any questions, or better, if you have ideas, just talk to me or Tatu about browser library. We are happy for new ideas or stuff that you would need us to implement. It's sometimes hard to find new inspirations of new features. Right, Tatu? No, he ran away.
Unmute. Mute. Sometimes difficult thing to do. Yes, it is nice to hear other people's ideas, because we may think that something is excellent and perfect, and when you tell about your use case, it's like, yeah, it's not. And we have to do something. It's like any tester says, like the old saying, the best tester doesn't break the product, it breaks the illusion of the product.
Yes. Anyone else want to share? Pekka maybe, or Manana?
I can say a word, maybe, yeah.
Yes.
In Helsinki conference, like many others say, I also enjoy most community because it always feels like meeting good old friends, even if you don't know them and just met. And everyone is eager and passionate to talk about their favorite topics, and no one is lazy to share their knowledge and feedback. I think it's just amazing community and amazing environment for learning and developing new things together.
Yeah, thank you for your opinions. Back to Mika or anything else?
So Rene, you didn't yet say, why do you return to RoboCon?
Yeah, so I also like the community, definitely. I mean, I'm super proud on the community that we all together built up also in the internet. I've never had such a helpful and friendly community. It's a very huge community. So we have at the moment, I think it's roughly 30,000 or so. I have to check. We have 33,000 people in Slack. Of course, not all of them are active, but we have a pretty big crowd being active all the time, multiple channels compared to other communities. Even if I look in the Playwright community or so, they all help each other, and there's barely the situation where a question stays unanswered. So this is cool, and that's kind of crystallized really in Helsinki. So you really see the people there. The people are using it. I'm always amazed when I talk to people what they are using Robot Framework for, where they are maybe also coming from. So it's not that they are all developers. Some people have, I don't know, studied chemistry or so and then started in manual testing, and then they figured out how Robot Framework works and they started doing automation, and now they are doing development or so. So lives completely changed, and also like hearing in which fields Robot Framework is used and that all these people are kind of happy with it. And it's a super relaxed community. No suits, no, I don't know, formality or so. Everyone is really friendly, and this is really, really amazing me. And I'm always looking forward, even that for us organizers, Mika would definitely double it. I think the RoboCon time is kind of a stressful time, and specifically also the time before RoboCon. So sometimes you need a little bit time off community after RoboCon because you have met so many people, you're permanently under fire. But still, once I have recovered, I directly look forward to the next RoboCon. And it's definitely one of the highlights of the year. Let's say the business year.
Definitely. I think also one thing I want to mention still, so this year we actually have a team, and the team is Finland, or more like how we as Robot Framework have become global from Finland to the world. So we are celebrating also 20 years of Robot Framework and the 10 years of Robot Framework Foundation, and I think there is something that is super unique there. And something I'm also gonna open up a little bit in my opening talk during RoboCon, or probably both opening talks in RoboCon in person and online. But the point is that the way the foundation has been created, kind of as a democratic organization with all equal rights to all members, regardless of the size of the company, and how kind of the people who are in the community are not those like big rock stars, but they are like regular people, regular developers, regular testers, like just like you and I, so like no ego is there, and I think those are kind of things that makes us different from many other communities and many other tools out there as well. And I think there's something I would, as a Finn, say also something very Finnish about that, being a little bit humble and not putting yourself too much out there as a kind of individual, but much more like being a little bit on the background and saying, yeah, well, I think the solution is working just fine. Obviously, that's of course something we can still improve. Like if you're thinking about Robot Framework compared to some paid solutions out there, which have like I don't know, 30 people marketing team and 1 million euros of marketing budget every year. So wherever you can, please also advertise Robot Framework Foundation, or RoboCon around to help us, because we are non-profit open source tool, and as such we need a little bit more love than those commercial tools. Anyway, is there anybody who still wants to talk about RoboCon? I would also open the discussion, if not to any other topics anybody from the community wants to bring up.
I will have one thing, but yeah.
Kelby's also here. I think Kelby just opened his microphone.
Yeah, I tried. I'm working from an actual office today. It's kind of fun. It happens, you know. I would say the cool part about RoboCon, and this is something I've been pushing because I want to get a group of people from my office to Helsinki next year. That's my goal. We'll see what happens. But you go because you have that connection with Robot Framework, and a lot of people have already said this before, but the other experience people have that you come across, you talk about, in fact, I feel like sometimes I talk about more about other frameworks when you meet in person or when you have the community day than you do about Robot Framework. Mostly complaining, but it gets a really good cross section of automation experience that's just beyond QA. And it's what's also fun about the talks is because there's different levels. You know, there's someone that's like right on the edge of development doing crazy stuff with Robot Framework, but then there's also the talks that are like incredibly practical that you can bring back into your office place and improve your testing or your RPA, for example. I purposely chose my talk to be incredibly boring and useful, mostly because as I was monitored, and it was spurred mostly because there were a lot of newbies coming in, and this is just from a result of some of our like experimental RoboCons. Like I think the one that we did, the online meetup with the group in India. But I noticed quite a few more different names coming up in the Slack channel in the newbie line, and I was like, boy, you know, you're learning Robot Framework, and to really understand like all the resources you get just from robotframework.org, and just be able to put that into a talk and make it really concise and say, look at all the things you have that are available to you. So very, very practical.
So sorry to interrupt. Have you, by the way, added the upcoming Robot Framework certificate there? You might want to have a side discussion with me.
Oh, okay, I'm reading through the syllabus right now. I'm
good. At least you are on the map with that.
And
oh,
Kelby,
yeah,
don't forget to buy a ticket to RoboCon, by the way. You haven't booked yet.
Oh, did I get the email yet? Anyway, I'll check that. That's my problem. I've had a very stressful 2 weeks. I'll just leave it there.
And about your talk being boring, no way. I've seen your talks in the past. Like, go check them on YouTube. Just find this guy. Like, he's gonna talk about like cardboard boxes or whatever. Is still entertaining. So I'm sure it's gonna be great.
I try.
I have to ask, will there be gnomes this time?
At least 2.
Good. But I did forget to say one thing that I wait for. The one talk that I wait most is the one, there's a person who talks about Python lib core. And currently I'm kind of maintaining the Python lib core. So I'm excited to see what I don't remember, is it he or she, the person will say about the Python lib core and what kind of talk he's going to do, or she.
Awesome. Anybody else wants to say something about RoboCon still? Then are there any other topics people want to discuss here in the open space today?
We could spoil stuff, but we shouldn't.
I can just quickly mention to people that there is a Robot Framework certificate up and coming. And then if you are part of the Robot Framework Foundation, you've been invited to the beta exam. So please take that opportunity and test our certificate. You will be officially certified if you pass, and do give us feedback. And for the rest, the certificate will be out very soon. So
it's already sent out. So for those who have already taken the exam, they already got their certificate.
Yes. But I mean, for the general public, it's not yet there.
Okay.
So it shall be released very soon.
Yes, but it's not a beta exam. It's just the first pilot round. It's already the real exam.
Yep. It was good enough that it's the real exam.
Yeah.
Good job.
Sato, have you already taken the exam?
I'm sorry, but I haven't yet. I know that I promised, but I have been busy on mine, busy as usual. There has been lots of stuff to be done.
Yeah. I think Daniel has taken and passed the exam. I'm curious of how much percentage Pekka will get, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a chance that he doesn't get the 100% because there are also some meta questions about the syllabus. So it's not necessarily all about the syntax and the code.
So you should read the syllabus if you want to take the exam.
Yeah, at least for an experienced Robot Framework user, I would highly recommend to at least cross-read it. So once read through it, and then you're good to go.
Correct. But for those who are inexperienced, there will be also official training courses leading to the certificate. So that will be also released soon with the certificate. So don't worry if you are not yet experienced. There are definitely good trainings coming up, and you may take 10 training and then the certificate after.
And Kelby, use your voucher to book a time for the exam. You can book the exam only 4 days ahead minimum. So you should book it now to increase the pressure to do it on Tuesday or so.
Of course. I was sort of because you said to review it, like, I'm reading through the syllabus and sort of taking some mental notes of feedback for the way some things are phrased. So,
well, you can also directly go to GitHub, and there is this pull request. I think the number was the wrong one. It's a pull request 45. It's the current one. You can directly leave comments there. If you go to the file tab, you can directly leave a comment there, and I will read it. That would be the easiest way.
I have a question about this pull request. How long it's gonna be open? Because, for example, I review and I will publish the comments once some chunk is ready.
Longer.
Okay.
So, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, wait a second. I think it's this one. So you should be able to see. Well, wait a second. That's the wrong one. And now I'm
You already had it there.
Yeah, I had it, but then that Zoom did something funky. So okay, so this is a pull request of the syllabus. This is the syllabus repository, which is public, and here is the one pull request. I just created it for review purpose, and for some reason my internet is kind of slow. And if you go to the files, you have there this. Okay, I think that here not that under website docs. Here you have this chapter, and for example, here Manana already left a comment, and you can also, for example, go here and leave a comment there, and then you can also make a proposal. Here, like this here, you can then make a suggestion and leave a comment, and then I can directly take your suggestion and commit it. And it's basically here on the website doc, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the stuff that should be reviewed or could be reviewed. And if you want to read the pull request already now, maybe the webpage may change in the future. At the moment, it's robotframework.org/robotframework RFCP which can also be used in dark mode. And then you can read through the syllabus. You see here the learning objectives and what to know. Oh. And in the end, you can take the exam soon.
Awesome. Any other topics anybody wants to talk about?
Hey, David, about the DeepSeek, the login is kind of crowded over the last days. It seems so.
Well, they also had the security issue. I don't know if you read about it.
No.
Someone hacked their database.
Oh, nice.
So, and they published it on LinkedIn. So they are crowded also with all of that. So yeah, it's a startup. So they went really fast and left some things open, and some security hack experts got in, and they shared it all on web. So they are dealing with all of that right now. But that's actually really interesting about the DeepSeek and about the situation, because it's a Chinese company. So you can see really polarized view, and I read it on the LinkedIn, also on the Czech LinkedIn, that some people that are looking for the technology, that they are like appraising this kind of way, but there are a lot of others who say, yeah, it's China, so everything will be stolen, you can't use it, security, and it's slightly polarizing. So I want to see what will come out of that. But I definitely want to try it. My friend actually tried to run it on their PC. So they ran the model locally on the gaming NVIDIA 3070, and it was running pretty well. So he was surprised. So that's really nice to see that, because if you want to run Llama, it gets a lot of resources. But this one, it's running pretty well, and the answers were really good.
Yeah, if we circle back to AI and this new model out there, so I fully did not understand. So they really have the same speed with a lot of less power, is more or less what I as a layman got. But kind of like, do you know how they actually done it? Like how they have achieved this much more efficiency with like less resources used? Like, is there any idea like how is that possible? And if that's possible for them, wouldn't ChatGPT and other big players then just copy the model, and then they have like way more power with whatever they have?
Well, I didn't get into the total technical details yet, because time as well. But what's really interesting about it is they spend much less money for training. One of the thing is that OpenAI also opened some kind of not sue, but some letter that they stole their ideas. Also, it's a company that probably used the open models like Llama from Meta. So they already used some of the technologies that were out there. So I would say it's like with any other technology, you usually start with some ideas, and that costs the research costs a lot of money. But after 2 or 3 years, other companies start picking up on the technology because they can either reverse engineer or come up with probably some different solutions. So this company was able to create probably a faster module or a model, and they were able to train it with either less data or different data, and it was like 100 times more cheaper than OpenAI training O1 models. But yeah, I wouldn't go into the technical details. I didn't read the paper yet on this, but I
fair enough.
definitely want to
It
do
hasn't
that.
been out that long.
Yeah, it's a week.
Yeah.
Or not even a
David,
week.
which other models or services would you recommend more about code compared to like GPT-4 or 1.0? Is it, for example, Claude or?
Yeah, Claude, Mistral, like these models for coding, they're really good. Inside our company, we are still heavily using the OpenAI technologies. Like we are working with the O1 Mini, for example, using the agents also on that. But
because
those
it's cheaper per token, or?
Oh yes, it's still quite expensive in comparison to 4.0 Mini. But the O1 Mini, it's a little bit more chatty. So you sometimes need to correct it that you don't want all these code improvements. You only care about this one method that you want to do. And I don't care how I can make interfaces and other classes.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say the OpenAI is still the good one for us. Though in last few months, they have stability issues like a lot. And sometimes it's hinging also our chatbots that we have for other customers that are built on OpenAI technologies. So the stability issue is a problem for us. So we are also looking for more, getting into more local models. So for example, this DeepSeek, if there wouldn't be any security risks, that would be an interesting for us. But yeah, for me, for example, for Robot Framework, when I created the agent, I fed it with all the documentation, all the data. It works really well. And we had some junior QAs joining our team, and I just shared the AI agent with them. We also try to connect it to our internal Discord, so you can basically chat with it within our Discord to get the messages and also get it out there. Though we still fight a little bit with the formatting of the code, and so that doesn't work well yet. But yeah, it's something that you can do, and it definitely helps out the junior engineers and even myself in some ways, that the AI can do stuff for me, and it's much better than last year for sure.
Cool, nice.
And we also tried it with our application, but I want to showcase something on the open space, so I'll probably keep that for the open space, and maybe
I'm
in the
looking
future we
forward
can
to
share
that.
it here. We are using the browser, their library.
Finally.
Yeah, for this one, yes. We were like, yeah, let's go with the browser library. Finally, let's try that. It's cool. I like it. I'm looking forward to share the idea.
Awesome. Is there somebody else who wants to chat about something?
Seems not.
Yes, then I think we will end the session for today. So thank you again for joining. It was a good open space. Next time, invite a friend so we get more people. And do join RoboCon. See you whether here in Helsinki or online.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Hope
Take
to
care,
see you
everybody.
Bye bye.
See you soon. Bye bye.
Bye.